Hey, sorry for this episode being a day or two late, Patreon followers. Obviously, those of you watching after this goes public won't see any lateness, hopefully. But those of you on the Patreon, this is a couple days late because I was at Anime Boston. I just didn't have a chance to get it done before I left because basically just everything was in complete chaos before I left due to my laptop dying like a week before the convention. So sorry about that, but I just put up two Batman the Animated Series episode analyses today, and now I'm doing this, and then I'll be basically caught up, and so this weekend I'll be back to posting things on time, hopefully, barring any future mishaps. Anyway, so this is a bit different from the usual Steven Universe videos in that I am taking suggestion from two of the Patreon followers. I'm taking Championess's suggestion that I watch the pilot, and then after that I am going to take Shane's suggestion that I watch the episodes 25 and 26 live. So pilot and then 25 and 26 live will be what I'm doing here for you. Next week will not be a Steven Universe video. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that, at least I've been told, this pilot is kind of a mid-season finale. I'll be taking advantage of that to take a break, post a panel video, then I'll come back the following week and start the second half of the first season of Steven Universe. After that will be another panel video, and then a vote on what people want me to watch next. Excuse me. So, let's just jump right in with the Steven Universe pilot, which is apparently called Pilot.
We are the Crystal Chapter. Garnet. Amethyst. Pearl. And Steven!
A little off-put by Amethyst. Okay, that's the Steven we know. Pearl looked really different, though. I see what they meant about her looking like that brief flash we got in the sword fighting episode.
You're rock! Hey, Steven, look at this! What are you, crazy? What the heck was that? An electric skull. Our crystal palace was swarming with them. They were after this. Can I see that? Yeah, sure. No, it's extremely powerful. We shouldn't have even brought it home. Garnet, tell Pearl to let me see the thing. Oh man, I want to come next time. I even wrote us a song. It's like, if you're... Wait, hold on. If you're evil and you're on the rise, you can count on the four of us taking you down. Cause we're good and evil never beats us. We'll win the fight and then go out for pizzas. We are the Crystal Chapter.
Oh hey, there's the real opening. Oh, that's cute. Garnet looks way cooler in this than in the series, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's just the best case scenario. You want to sing that during battle? Yeah. Why? Because it'll look really cool. You'll look like a clown. Don't make fun of Steven. Look, Steven, you're still too young to come with us. You don't even have powers in your gem. But I want to help. Why don't you grab us some donuts?
That's a $3 bill. Amethyst, are you a counterfeiter? The donut shop is directly next door. Amethyst did that on purpose, didn't she?
Well, if it isn't Steven of the Crystal family. Hey, Lars. Just give me 3 donuts. You want me to connect them with a hot dog?
Can't tell whether Lars is supposed to be
It's
a person of color, or given his ears, some sort of puppy creature. I think I'm glad they lightened him up, which is a rare thing.
Not exactly a hot girl. Well, if I was, I wouldn't be talking to you. Oh, I should have said that. That's really funny.
Oh.
You're a hot girl, Steven. Well, if I was, I wouldn't be talking to you. You're a joke. You know that, right? You're a big joke. Lay off.
Lars is really mean in this pilot.
Hey, you know, let me do that.
And that's the time travel thing from that episode. Huh.
Be a joke? It must be tougher for you, Lars. At least people like jokes. Oh, that's what I should have. Joke. You know that, right? You're a big joke. It must be tougher for you, Lars. At least people like jokes.
Okay, so he's basically got magical Spirit of the Staircase powers. That works for me. That's a pretty good use of short-term time travel.
Took me back in time, and I was like, why do you have that? Why did you give him that? You wanted to see it. I was letting him see it. We've been protecting that hourglass for 1,000 years. Now that it's activated, it can only be used by you for its chosen purpose. What did you use it for? Comebacks? Comebacks? You used it for comebacks? Look outside. Let it right to us. Steven, it can see the holes you've ripped in the fabric of time. Steven, why are you such a buttface?
Did Garnet just call Steven a buttface? Man, they're getting their butts kicked.
Is this normal? Are we winning? No, this is bad, Steven. Help. I can't. I'm a buttface. Why am I such a buttface? I know you are, but what if it's not good enough? I can come up with a better line than that with my butt closed. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Buttface. Why am I? I got it. Oh, buttface. I can't.
Okay, this is pretty great.
What's yours? Why are you such a buttface? I can't help it. What's your excuse? You did it. What happened? Get back! Oh, get up here! We can't get close to it, but we've got to take out its hair things! Everybody push!
Okay. Yeah, I think I like the ending or the first episode we got quite a bit better than this, just because it's less Steven saves the day when everyone else is useless and more Steven gets to help.
This clown was gonna save your life. You look like a clown. What the? It's okay, Steven. You're our clown. Yes, a very hilarious clown. Hey, don't make fun of Steven. Yeah. This clown is gonna save your lives.
Okay, that was cute enough, but it was lacking something. I mean, obviously it wasn't as polished as the final series, because pilots rarely are. I actually like Garnet's design from this a bit better, but I think I like everybody else's design better in the show, even though the differences for Amethyst and Steven are less design and more the way they move, the way they're acted. But yeah, I think except for Garnet, I like everybody better in the show. I do think her design in this is really cool. I hope we get a callback to it at some point in the show. Alright, I'm gonna pull up the next episode. 1 second, please. Okay. I'll let that buffer for a moment. While it does, some further thoughts on that pilot. I mean, I definitely do like it. I can definitely see the show that would be coming out of it. I like the time travel through comebacks thing and the way Steven accidentally undoes all of it at the end. It's pretty cute. Less of an obvious monkey's paw thing than the equivalent episode in the show, though it still has a very similar resolution. I like that it was accidental, though. Other than that, yeah, I don't have a lot. Looks like about a third of the episode 25-26 combo file I've got is done, so I'm gonna start watching it.
Are the crystal gems will always save the day. And if you think we can, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world. Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, and Steven!
It is a good opening.
What? Why not?
Steven, I told you, I can't hang out
Yay,
with you
Connie.
at tennis practice.
And then Mom wants to go out for a family dinner.
But she said I could hang out all day tomorrow, and I can come over all the time now that it's summer vacation.
What's summer vacation?
You know, when school gets out for the summer.
I've never been to this, how do you say, school?
Steven has never been to school.
It's full of desks, chalkboards, books, maps. I see. Yup, it's all coming together.
So, how do we begin our school?
I don't know. This is
How has Steven seen as much TV as he seems to have seen and never encountered school?
Who'll teach little Stevie now?
Teach you? Steven, if only I had known that's what you really wanted. We found this gem-powered mirror at the Galaxy Warp. It can capture and display any event it's witnessed in all of gem history. It'll offer you everything you've ever
I am
wanted to know
suspicious
about
of it being
gems and
cracked.
culture.
I must be incredibly important to gem culture.
It's just you in there. It hasn't even been activated. Show us the Galaxy Warp. Show us the Galaxy Warp. Oh, come on.
Whoa!
I know you've seen it. It is in pretty rough shape. It must finally be broken. What a shame.
It doesn't seem broken to me.
Oh well, I guess that's the end of our school.
So you could say school's out for summer?
Yes, good. There are many ways to say the same thing.
School's out!
The asymmetry of this pile is really starting to bother me.
Pearl.
School's out! Happy summer vacation, Steven! Happy summer vacation, Beach City! Yeah! Hey!
He's really good at running
You little
backwards.
Steven! Sorry! I'm just so excited for summer! Are you excited for summer? I'm so excited for summer!
I think I'm as excited
excited as I can get about setting up extra seating for the summer rush. But Lars has big plans.
You bet I do. All those out-of-town summer babes.
I don't care, Lars.
Home without their boyfriends, if you know what I mean.
Lars, you're awful. And Steven has no idea what you mean. Excellent.
Maybe I'll get a few numbers. Maybe I'll even call one.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll meet a new friend.
That's a great idea. A special new friend to have fun on the beach with in the summer. Maybe if I keep using the mirror to guide me, I'll walk backwards into my own beach summer fun buddy.
Next time you see me, I'll be on the arm of a hot woman.
You can stop talking about it now.
Where you going, you little...
Huh?
Car wash kid, what are you doing?
I don't know. Why were you driving down the boardwalk?
I'm the mayor. I'm not gonna walk anywhere. Now, go get run over somewhere else. I'm late for a speech.
What just happened? You work! This is so cool. What's it like being a mirror? You work! So you can repeat stuff? Yeah!
Hello, Beach City, my friends. It's great to be here to celebrate the coming season. A warm summer breeze wafts through the air. We all look forward to the sounds of the summer season. The smells of the busy boardwalk. The hot, wet ocean wind. The time to take that pressure that's built up all year and just let it out.
Okay, even I thought that was funny, and I hate fart jokes. And that would be why I hate fart jokes.
You're pretty funny for a mirror. You're pretty funny for a mirror. I'm not a mirror. You're pretty funny for a mirror.
Steven?
You made something new. Say something else.
Steven? Is the new friend.
Really? Yeah.
Aww.
Too.
The mirror is clearly evil.
I gotta go tell the gems. No! Don't be shy. They'll love you. No! Don't worry. They're a good audience. Guys, wait till you see.
Yo, Steven! Hello, Steven.
Howdy. Back.
Want to see something hilarious? You don't understand. Symmetrical means both sides have to be the same.
MC Bear Bear. Okay, that's great. Anyway, I fixed the mirror.
Excellent work, Steven.
You didn't tell me it's like a person.
Wait, what?
Say hey. Little buddy. Excuse us. Come on. You want to come out, don't you? You have so much to say and funny noises to share from across the ages. Are we not beach summer fun buddies? Just couldn't help yourself, huh? Just poor you.
Steven?
It's talking to him? It shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, it should only be following orders. Gotta do something.
I like how obviously terrified they are.
You should just give us back the mirror. It will be safer where we can watch it.
Yeah, let's bubble it.
What? Steven, don't make me have to take it from you. It doesn't want to go with you. Don't you hear it screaming? Steven, it's just a mirror, a tool. It can't want anything. He wants to be with me.
Whoa. That is an angry Garnet. What just happened? Okay, the episode just ended? For no reason? Alright, I'm probably gonna make a cut here while I try to figure out what's going on. Okay, and we're back. I think it's reasonably buffered now. I'm not entirely clear what happened before, but I've switched to a different file and gotten it loaded up to a pretty good distance, so let's resume.
What's the problem with you? Are you trying to say something?
Away from home.
Free! Ow!
Something is trapped in the mirror and wants out.
Come on, I wanna help.
And I'm guessing Garnet's line about him being in trouble is not that she's going to punish him, but that he's in danger from the mirror. I mean, we saw how a cracked gem could distort them just a little while ago. What's coming out of the water? Hey, I've seen pictures of that gem.
Thank you. You didn't. Oh! You actually talked to me. You helped me. It's Steven, right? I'm Lapis. Lapis Lazuli. Are you really a crystal gem?
Yeah!
But you set me free.
What? Steven! Huh? Wait!
You three knew I was in there. And you didn't do anything. Did you even wonder who I used to be? Steven, run! What are you doing? I'm Lapis Lazuli, and you can't keep me trapped here anymore!
Huh?
They're not gonna let us leave.
Leave?
Steven, come with me.
Where?
Home.
But I...
Don't trust them, Steven. Goodbye.
Okay.
Steven, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. So that was another gem?
Yes.
I don't really have words for this right now.
Ungrounded?
Yes, you're grounded.
You disobeyed an order.
Now we're gonna bury you till you've learned your lesson.
Ah! That's not how grounding works! Dad?
You guys better come check this out.
Wait, where did it go?
The ocean!
Hey, it's those magical ladies. What's going on here?
The ocean is gone, obviously.
No, it's just a desert. No one wants to take a vacation to Desert City. Oh, we're gonna lose all our summer business.
And all the beach babes!
Who's gonna buy my fries?
At my pizza, who's gonna have fun at Funland?
As mayor, I demand you explain this immediately.
It was Lapis Lazuli. Lapis Lazuli?
She's the gem you released from the mirror.
But she's a gem just like us.
There's a lot you don't know about gems, Steven.
Which will now be explained. Oh, SPF 1000. That's approximately the level I need.
Where are you going, Steven?
I'm leaving to fix what I did to our home. I was the one who set Lapis free from the mirror. Now it's my fault the ocean's gone. I'm gonna bring the ocean back or get really thirsty trying.
Wait up, kiddo. I'm coming with you.
I want to help too. Also, I feel weird being in your house if you're not here. Clearly, we're coming too.
You're ungrounded, by the way.
Wow. Everyone is going. That's pretty finale-ish. Aww. Stephen and Connie are riding together.
This is one of Rose's favorites. What do you think, Garnet?
Garnet does not like his music. It amuses me. Aww. Stephen and Connie are so cute.
I can't believe Lapis would do this. Gems shouldn't fight each other.
We're always fighting gems, actually.
What?
I knew it.
How do I put this? All gems aren't necessarily good. All those monsters we fight used to be just like us, right, Pearl? Yes, but they've become corrupted and broken. We have to take care of them, subdue them, contain them. It's the best we can do for them for now. If we don't, then... That's some magical destiny stuff right there.
Guys, I just had the best idea for an album cover.
This is it. Lapis Lazuli is here.
Oh, that was good.
Understand. What does she want with the ocean? Whoa! Look at all this. It's just like a giant aquarium. You shouldn't be here.
She sensed us.
Lapis Lazuli! It's me, Steven!
Go away before I meet you.
But we're Beat Summer Fun Buddies!
You're one of them. One of the crystal gems.
Easy.
What do you mean? We're all gems, right? Just let us help you.
You don't understand. Just leave me alone.
We're not leaving, Lapis. Not until you give us back our ocean.
I said, leave me alone. Greg?
So, of course, we get a mirror fight.
Behind us. We'll handle this.
Sounds good to me.
Uh-oh. Stand together. Don't let them separate.
And, of course, the solution to fighting reflections, as we all learned from Ocarina of Time, is put your weapons away. Or use the Bigoron sword. It breaks the AI. Is it the Bigoron sword in Ocarina? The Giant's knife? It was something like that. Of course, the significance there to Stephen having a purely defensive power, you know. It's true. Pearl is probably a better fighter than Mirror Pearl. Now she's screwed. I don't think a water gun is going to be very effective here, Steven. Whoa! A van, on the other hand.
Normal magical mission for you? Because I'm not sure how comfortable I am with you going on these anymore.
Oh, poor dad. Poor Steven's dad.
Dad, are you okay?
Oh, I think my leg's broken. See? This is why we wear seatbelts, kids.
Lapis, I
There's that shield. Whoa.
Steven?
Connie's like, whoa.
I'm coming
Her
up to
reaction
see
is
you,
my reaction.
So please don't drown me.
Like I said, Steven's purely defensive power is the one that wins the mirror fight. Wow. That's pretty awesome.
Lapis!
What are you doing here, Steven?
What? No! What are you doing here? This thing! The ocean! This is crazy! Can't we work this out? We gems should be friends!
Whoa. Don't you know anything, Steven? Your friends. They don't really care about other gems. All they care about is the Earth. But I never believed in this place.
Backstory?
I just want to go home.
I know how important home can be, but that's why I'm here. You took the ocean away, and the ocean is an important part of my home.
I'm only using the ocean because my gem is cracked. If I just stretch it far enough... This is never going to work.
Oh, I can fix your gem. I have healing powers.
Wait, you have healing powers?
I know, right?
Oh, what should I...
Oh, sorry. This might be a little weird.
What? Thank you, Steven.
No problem.
It's Lapis.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
We're not getting any backstory at all, are we?
The whole town is coming down. What about Steven?
Lion, Connie, you've got this.
Grab my hand! Gotcha!
Yes! Big city, here we come.
Can Lars be pushed into the ocean every episode? I would appreciate that. Lars is pretty much the Mako of this series.
How you doing?
Oh, poor Universe Van.
What's that thing you always say about the pork chops and the hot dogs? Look!
So, Lapis made it off planet.
What does this mean for us?
We wait and see.
Hmm.
See you, Lapis. Wherever you are.
So... interesting. So, apparently crystal gem is a subcategory of gem. Which I guess makes sense why they've been saying that so insistently all along. I guess... So here's what I'm guessing it is that there are at least two factions of gems, one of which, for whatever reason, has taken up residence on Earth and are protecting it from the other faction, which is attacking for whatever reason. And the monsters they've been fighting are from this other faction. They're distorted, made grotesque, which is great because it means we're going to be playing with ideas of the grotesque, which are kind of present in Adventure Time, but they don't really do much with them. So I suspect we'll be seeing a lot of this idea of deformation, both physical and, for lack of a better term, spiritual. The big question is whether we will have something close to Adventure Time's carnival atmosphere, which is to say one where the grotesque is largely celebrated. Certainly that seems to be somewhat Amethyst's role. And little boys love gross stuff, so with Stephen as the main character, that seems probable. And I hope that's the case, because that's a lot less problematic than the other way to go with the grotesque, which is effectively to equate ugliness with evil. Certainly, given that Lapis Lazuli is the most, human-looking of the gems so far, I take that back. Lapis Lazuli looks the most like a typical woman in media body type. Garnet has the whole weird square head thing. Pearl is very skinny and has and kind of goblin-like with the big nose and all. Actually, given her, melee fighting skills, she's practically a Tengu. And that leaves Amethyst, who's kind of amorphous. And very often, does the gender swapping thing. So, Lapis Lazuli is the most, traditionally how women look in cartoons, kind of one of them. And the one who most closely resembles the way, other women in the city are drawn, and she tries to destroy the ocean in an attempt to reach her homeworld. Which, I wonder why they haven't told Stephen about any of this. Probably because they feel he's too young. It's probably something that doesn't reflect... I'm guessing it's something that doesn't reflect well on them. And yeah, I think at this point it seems clear that some of my ideas coming out of the Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant references in earlier episodes are probably not correct. I think this show is actively courting a paranoid reading. Which is to say, it is strongly implying the existence of a secret plot that has been worked out by the creators and is being doled out piecemeal to the viewers. This is not particularly common in cartoons. There is, for example, no trace of it in at least the 4.5 seasons of Adventure Time I've seen. But it is very common in modern American television to have at least the appearance of such a thing. So, it's not that surprising that it would be here, especially since, while this is clearly a show intended primarily for children, which, of course, it should be, it's obviously also trying to be appealing to the adults, which, makes sense. As Lauren Faust, excuse me, as Lauren Faust said several times in regards to My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, she set out to make a show that would appeal to both children and their parents, who often have to watch shows with their kids and often feel rather mind-numbed by the process. So, it's not that surprising that adults of the age to have young children would also enjoy a show designed to appeal to young children watching with and the parents watching with them. It doesn't really require that the show be, not for kids or not just a kids show. I hate that attitude because it implies that there is something less than in being a children's show, where very often children's shows and books and entertainment in general are ahead of the curve in a lot of things. I've been to conferences for writers where they have talked about like writing and publishing industry and so forth, where they have talked about how you want to watch the trends in young adult literature because the things people read as teenagers are the things they read their entire lives. So if you want to know what's going to be popular in 10 years, look at what kids and teenagers are enjoying now, and that'll tell you. The same does very much hold true for television. You're seeing, very much that television now is, the tastes of television viewers now are very much shaped by people who, as kids and teenagers, watched a lot of stuff like anime and the X-Files and so forth that had a serial element to it and an element of the supernatural, where such things were more or less accepted. And so you're seeing a big boom of serialized drama, you're seeing a big boom of science fiction and fantasy, because that's what kids and teens were watching in the 90s. So 10, 15 years later, 20, that's what they're watching as grown-ups. Which means we'll be in for interesting times when adult live-action drama is being watched by the kids who today are watching Steven Universe and Adventure Time. I look forward to that. Should be fun. Anyway, that's my live watching. I hope this was at least somewhat entertaining. If not, blame me. If so, thank Shane and Championess for suggesting that I do this with the pilot and then this. I'll see you all in 2 weeks with more Steven Universe. Next week, like I said, will be a panel. Have a good one.